Coming up on OU Nightly, here at OU, student visas taken away. Find out what the university is saying in response. And an apartment catches on fire in Norman. Find out where. Plus, how students on campus are coming together to create community around mental health. This is OU Nightly. OU releases a statement after student visas are taken away across Oklahoma. Thanks for watching. I'm Spencer Plato.
And I'm Colson Pocock. We begin tonight with confirmation that visas at OU have been taken away. OU Nightly's Abigail Franklin is live in the newsroom with the details. What is OU saying, Abigail?
Well, in an email earlier today, the University of Oklahoma again confirming that OU students have had their visas taken away. The letter, which was left unsigned, says that OU is working closely with those impacted through campus services. They also added that they are communicating with the federal government to understand the processes on this. The university will not release a number of students affected by this, but we are following the story as it develops. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Abigail. And an apartment catches fire in North Norman. Take a look at this video. The fire was at East Rock Creek in North Porter. Footage shows the roof on fire and multiple fire crews at the scene. And well, we've had some beautiful weather to enjoy here over the weekend. I know I got out to enjoy it.
OU Nightly meteorologist Dylan Strelko has the latest forecast. Dylan?
Yeah, guys, the next few days are really going to be a tale of two seasons here in Oklahoma. Today and tomorrow, it's feeling a little bit cooler thanks to a cold front that moved through overnight, but we'll see that south wind return by Wednesday, bringing in that warmer air from the Gulf and getting up into the mid to upper 80s for here in Norman by Thursday. Some areas could even reach 90 by Thursday and Friday as well, so we'll be watching that. But you want to stick around because we'll be talking about that pollen level, breaking down that allergy report and how that affects you. Also that warm up and how that warm up will affect our severe weather coming up.
All right, thanks, Dylan. Governor Kevin Stitt announced today that attorney Travis Jett will fill the vacant seat on the Oklahoma Supreme Court. Stitt chose Jett over Judges Donna Derrickson and John Parsley and becomes the youngest member of the Oklahoma Supreme Court at just 40 years old, and he has no previous judicial experience.
El Salvador's president says he will not be releasing a Maryland man back to the U.S. after being mistakenly deported. OU Nightly's Emily LaBeth is following this and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center. Spencer, during a White House visit, El Salvador President Nayib Bukele says he will not be sending Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi says if El Salvador decides to release him, the U.S. would send a plane. But Bukele says he doesn't plan to.
The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
Garcia, a Maryland father, was deported to the prison because of a Trump administrative error last month. In Ukraine, a Russian airstrike kills 34 people and injures 117 others in the war's deadliest attack of the year. Ukrainian President Zelensky says the strikes were ballistic missiles hitting a university building. Harvard University is facing cuts of nearly $9 billion in federal funding.
When our university is under attack, what do?
The school received a letter from the Trump administration with demands to reduce the power students and faculty have on university affairs. Harvard President Alan Garber says the university will not comply with the demands. The FAA says the tour company whose helicopter plunged into the Hudson River is shutting down operations. The crash killed all 6 passengers on board. Spencer, Colson.
Thanks, Emily. And we have the story of a Native American architecture firm here on campus. OU Nightly's Gigi Siki has the details.
This is this building.
Located in Norman, Oklahoma, is an architecture firm doing great things for the indigenous community while focusing on serving and providing appropriate designs.
One of the projects I'm currently working on is the Bernie Institute for the Chickasaw Nation, which was a boarding school for Chickasaw girls. It's a really special project for me because I am a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation. So having a hand in getting to put the culture back into a building with a history like a boarding school is really special.
Anishinaabe Design was founded to celebrate the cultural heritage of the 39 federally recognized tribes that call the state of Oklahoma home.
I think native design is important because it can incorporate our native or traditional ways into everyday life.
The College of the Muskogee Nation has been like a dream client for us. They have been so giving and really assist us in generating ideas and concepts for how can we weave that into the architecture and tell their story in their words with their buildings.
But storytelling isn't the only thing that they're focused on.
There are fewer than 200 Native American architects in the country and fewer than 50 licensed female Native American architects in the country.
I'd like to encourage Native American students to be involved in STEAM education, to look into the field of architecture, civil engineering, interior design, whatever they have the passion for.
To learn more about their ongoing projects, visit AnishinabeDesign.com. Reporting from Norman, Oklahoma, Gigi Siki, OU Nightly.
The Native-owned firm says that they are always looking for interns, and to learn more about that, you can go to the contact page on their website.
And coming up on OU Nightly, how much money people spend on Easter. Do you spend more or less than average?
And certain products are being exempted from tariffs by the White House. Hear what products are getting a break next.
President Donald Trump's tariffs on imports are shaking up the economy, but consumers say it's not stopping them from spending this Easter holiday. OU Nightly's Whitney Smith has this in today's Money Matters. The technical difficulties we are having, even with egg prices at an all-time high, Americans are still expected to eat or decorate more than 3 billion eggs this spring. This Easter, businesses say shoppers are ready to spend, with the average person expected to shell out about $189. According to the National Retail Federation, total Easter spending is projected to top $23 billion. That's $12 more per person compared to last year. And electronics imported to the U.S. will be exempt from President Donald Trump's reciprocal tariffs, at least temporarily. The price of smartphones, computers, and various electronic parts may not go up. As for the price of many other items like cars, food, and clothing coming from other countries, those prices could go up as well. And a group of small U.S. businesses are fighting back against President Donald Trump's tariff authority. 5 small businesses filed a lawsuit claiming Trump's tariffs are illegal under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The lawsuit states the IEEPA gives the president authority to impose emergency economic powers in response to a threat to national security or the economy. However, the group believes Trump's criteria in this case has not yet been met. And thanks out of roughly 700 organizations on OU's campus, there are very few mental health clubs. OU Nightly's reporter Whitney Smith shines a light on one of those organizations.
Mindful Impact is a mental health organization that just started in the fall of 2024. The club's founder and current president, Lyric Houston, just wanted to create a welcoming space for all.
I started Mindful Impact to helpfully provide light over them, specifically using the OU community, all of our students and faculty members. And I specifically wanted to design it in a way that focused on like the advocacy and like the educational component of mental health.
As soon as Lyric had her purpose, she started reaching out and finding others to help her bring the organization to life.
So I didn't come in with a lot of
people I knew at school. And when I got like an email on a random day and it was like, we're looking for officers. And I was like, okay, why not? Like YOLO. And I did it and it's been the best. I've made so many good friends.
Their events range from art therapy to working with organizations in the Norman community. And with all of this hard work, Lyric just wants
more attention and more people involved, whether they're just a general body member or an exec officer. I want more people paying attention.
As mental health awareness is growing, so are the organizations on campus. And it's all about finding your community.
Mental health is kind of a growing thing now, or for people to recognize, and in certain communities it's not as recognized. And I think it's important to kind of validate everyone. And that's what I would say about this community, is that it validates everybody.
So, Mindful Impact wants you to remember that
we're present and that our focus is community mental health.
Reporting for OU Nightly, Whitney Smith.
Thanks, Whitney. The university offers counseling services at Goddard. And coming up on OU Nightly, spring season is in full swing, which means flowers are beginning to bloom.
See what beautiful flowers can be picked at a farm right here in Norman when we return.
Severe weather on our way. Find out more about our severe weather threat this weekend after the break. Spring here in Oklahoma, which also means it's allergy season, and tree pollen is definitely kicking butt out there today. So if you're feeling stuffy, if you're feeling a little bit congested, this is probably why, and it's something to take note of for the next couple of days here. Now those temperatures, they did cool off just a little bit today with that cold front that moved through last night, getting to 70 degrees right now here in Norman, but that dew point and humidity levels are low, so it's a little bit dry here today, but those winds are gusty out of the north, getting up to about 16 miles per hour out of the north. And those temperatures are pretty consistent here around the metro in the mid to upper 60s, even getting into the 70s for our southern and southeastern parts of the metro and across the state as well. Really not seeing a whole big temperature difference, getting up from the mid 60s down to the mid 70s up down there in central or in southern Oklahoma. But here in central Oklahoma, sitting right around in the middle, in the mid to upper 60s, thanks to that cool north wind that's really going to be sticking with us today and tomorrow. So wind gusts are getting up into the upper 20s, maybe even the low 30s as well. That's keeping us nice and cool today, and it will tomorrow as well. But those wind gusts will start to calm down throughout this evening. We'll see those temperatures start to come down as well into the lower 60s. Those clouds should be sticking around with us for at least throughout the evening, but we'll start to see breaks in the sun for tomorrow, and we'll start to see those temperatures as well start to warm up throughout the week. Now, Wednesday and Thursday is really going to be our warmer days where we start to see that south wind return, and we're going to see temperatures reaching near 90 degrees here on Thursday. But cold front is going to be coming in on Friday, and we're going to see rain chances that will be coming up later on this weekend. But we're going to be talking about that. Look at this weather pattern. We're going to see our low pressure system. It'll come off out of the northwest. We're going to see all that warm, moist air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico here, and that's when we'll start to see that rain chances start to pick up late Friday night into Saturday morning here in Oklahoma. And now we do have a severe weather risk with this storm system. Right now it is only a 15% chance, as it is 5 days out, so a lot has to be worked out over the next couple of days, but of course we'll keep you updated. And the rain chances, we're sticking with a low to a medium chance across the state right now, but we could be seeing those rain chances pick up as we go throughout the rest of the week as confidence starts to increase with that storm system coming in. But take a look at your 7-day forecast, staying pretty calm and dry over the next couple of days. And like I said, the warmer air will be coming through by Thursday, getting up to near 90 by Thursday afternoon. But Friday and into Saturday is where we're going to be watching for the chance for some rain and potentially severe weather as well. And that'll continue throughout the weekend, but we should be staying warm into next week with some welcome sunshine.
Sounds like you'll have to move the Easter egg hunt indoors.
That's true. You know, we have an Easter egg hunt planned at the golf course I work at, but I'm not so sure that's going to happen outside like we plan to.
Well, we can enjoy the nice weather during the week. Maybe a good time to do some tulip picking, because it's all the rage right now. And this past weekend, our OU Nightly reporter Kiriana Gamboa caught up with a local flower farm right here in Norman.
I never in a million years would have dreamed I would be a flower farmer. It's a year-round business for Amy and Rob Arrington and their local flower farm in Norman. And having full-time jobs doesn't stop them from planting seeds for their spring and summer blooms.
All sorts of flowers, varieties, zinnias, snapdragons, sunflowers.
With the whole family's help,
sons and our daughter-in-laws are very involved over here, and our grandson, she calls him her #1 employee.
Mr. Arrington says it's a great way to spend time in nature and with his wife.
Yeah, we just really enjoy doing it together.
But they say bringing smiles to the Norman community is the best part.
This is what we do in the evenings and on the weekends, just to bring joy to people. You enjoy, and we'll see you this summer.
I will definitely come back. Thank you.
Bringing joy and smiles to the citizens of Norman is what it's all about. And right now I have a big smile on my face because I got to pick a few myself. And I'm going to go home and put these in some water. Reporting in Norman, Kariana Gamboa, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kariana. Skip Johnson and OU baseball found themselves in a top 25 battle over the weekend.
And OU softball is in the middle of a Crimson clash. Andrew?
Yeah, and OU men's gymnastics is in the hunt for their 13th national title. And OU football fans got their first glimpse at year 4 of the Brent Venables era on Saturday. Let's see what the defense has coming in the fall. Up next in sports. Hello, I'm Andrew West, and it's time for sports. The first ever Crimson Combine hit Owen Field Saturday, replacing the spring game. And while all eyes were on John Mateer and the offense, the other side of the ball also went through quite the offseason. OU Nightly reporter Cameron Williams has more on the changes coming to the defense.
It was an unconventional but beneficial spring showcase for the Sooners Saturday afternoon as they took the field in front of fans for the first time since their bowl game loss in December. The offense showed out, but it was the defense, and specifically the linebacker group, that caught the eyes of the OU coaching staff.
The improvement that I saw from players that returned with experience with Kip and Kobe and Sammy. I talked about Kendall Daniels and what he brought to that group. I need these new guys, or the guys that all the guys I've been talking about, to be able to step into that role. If we're going to become the kind of defense that we need to become to win in the league that we got to win in a one-possession league with an unforgiving, week in and week out schedule.
The one thing that I'll talk about more so is the depth at each position. Just with my guys on the inside, you have Kip, you have Kobe, you have Sammy, you have Owen, you have Kendall Daniels, Taylor, and that's, you got 4 or 5 guys that arguably could start. And that's what we're going to need, as you guys know more than I do, even especially as SEC is brutal and it's long.
This defense, ranked 19th nationally a year ago, brings back 8 starting returners for next season. Reporting from Owen Field, Cam Williams, OU Nightly.
OU men's gymnastics has a busy week themselves. The NCAA qualifiers are this Friday, where they take on Nebraska, Penn State, Air Force, Cal, and William and Mary in the first session. Head coach Mark Williams says there's plenty to feel confident about for his squad.
But it should be exciting. We're ranked #1 going in. We've beat all the better teams in the regular season at least once. But we've probably been the most consistent team, best in execution, and in the regular season have pretty much outperformed all the other teams.
Back in Norman, OU baseball found themselves in a 3-game series with 17th ranked Vanderbilt. Game 1 went the Sooners' way 9-4, and they took the momentum into Game 2, stomping Vandy 14-0. The Commodores got the last laugh, though, taking Game 3 13-2. Throwing it to the home of Forrest Gump, OU softball is in the middle of a 3-game series with the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Sooners took Game 1 in a 7th-inning rally 5-1, but Game 2 went Bama's way 6-1. The series finale is tonight at 6. Colson, Spencer.
Thanks, Andrew. And coming up, tax day can be a stressful day for so many. So some places are offering deals tomorrow.
See what restaurants and convenience stores are giving you a break next on OU Nightly.
I'm Cole Webster at the OU Nightly Update Desk. At the state capitol today, lawmakers honored the 168 lives lost in the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building bombing. The House of Representatives and Senate took a moment to honor survivors, family members, first responders, and dignitaries. On Saturday, the 30th anniversary remembrance ceremony will be held at the Museum and Memorial. Colson, Spencer.
Thanks, Cole. Tax day is tomorrow, and a few places are offering deals to make your tax day a little less painful. Krispy Kreme is offering an additional dozen donuts after a purchase at just the cost of sales tax.
7-Eleven is taking $10.40 off purchases over $20 using code WRITEOFF, and anyone purchasing a pizza from Casey's will get their next one free. These are just a few of the many deals that you could take advantage of tomorrow. And I think that'd be a great day to go grab an icy, stand outside. How much longer is this nice weather going to last?
Yeah, I mean, those temperatures are going to be skyrocketing up into the 80s this week, getting up to near 90 by midweek Wednesday and Thursday. But we're watching this weekend, Friday and Saturday, especially Saturday morning, for the chance for some more severe weather in our area.
Definitely will be weather aware this weekend. Thanks, Dylan, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Spencer Plato.
And I'm Colson Pocock. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.